Good evening and welcome to Home is Here. And on Home is Here tonight, our guests are Mr. and Mrs. M.G SHAH, a businessman on the Copper Belt. To be specific, our home is here. We are in Chingola on the Copper Belt. Well, Mr. Shah, it's a pleasure to have you and your wife on our Home is Here tonight. And I should also say it's a pleasure to be on the Copper Belt and to be in Chingola in particular. Right, briefly just tell us about yourself.
You see, as I mentioned to you, I'm a graduate honors of microbiology, and I came to Zambia in 1953 in September. In September 1953? Yes. Okay, that's a long time ago. Long time ago. Yes. And I stayed in M.G for 4.5 years. And in 57 November, I went to India and I got married. I came in 59 in June. And as I was in the farming district, I was wishing to go to industrial area where the cash economy is very high. So I met Mr.M.G. As in 53 to 57, I used to play good cricket. And Amin also used to play. So I met him. Yes. He told me, when I expand, I'll call you. So he was taking one departmental store, Mendel and Johnson. That's how I came to Chingola. Okay. This Mr. Amin was already here in Chingola. He was not here in Chingola. He was in Ndola. He was in Ndola. But he was expanding. And this store, Mendel and Johnson, was managed by liquidator Cooper Brothers. So he bid for it. Okay. Let me take you a little bit back again, Mr. Shah. When you came to this country, what exactly did you come to do, or how did you come to this country? You know, I had my maternal uncle, my mother's brother, and when I was doing my graduation, we had a family setback in India. Yeah. So my father told me that now you cannot study further, although I wanted to go for research and medicine, and you must go to overseas. Yes. So I thought of my uncle. At that time the immigration was open here only if you find 3 hours. That means if you can pass the English test, yeah, you're allowed. You're allowed, okay. So that's how I came. And at the time the Federation, Zambia was, at the time Northern Rhodesia, they were opposing the Federation with the Malawi and Nyasaland, yes, plus Southern Rhodesia. So I came at the time. Yeah. Yes, in 1953, that's when the Federation of Rhodesia and Nyasaland was just coming into being. Yes. What was your uncle doing in this country those days? He was in the M.G, had a business there. He had business in M.G? Yes. So when I came, I was a microbiologist. So we applied to the government. I was selected, but there was a housing problem looking to my qualification. So I met John Roberts. Oh, Mr. John Roberts. Yes. So I remember Mr. Roberts. Yes. So he said to Mr. Shah, just wait for a while. Then we came to know the housing was the problem according to my qualification. So then I joined the business stream at my uncle as a shop assistant. Okay. You've talked about Mr. John Roberts. What was Mr. John Roberts doing, and what was he at that time? He was in the power hierarchy in the politics. In the politics? Yes, in the federal party. In the federal party, yes. He was already with Saroy Walensky. Saroy Walensky. Exactly. So how long did you remain with your uncle in this business? I stayed with 4.5 years there as a shop assistant. And at that time, you know, the things were very cheap. And being the Midlands, the business peak period was June, July, when the harvesting was there. Yeah. The rest is like a farmer, easy life. Exactly, exactly. Yeah. So the people were very friendly. We never knew The burglars bar which you see today, or security, nothing.
It was not there those
there.
days. Yeah, things were peaceful and quiet.
Very quiet.
So the cost of living, how was it? You just mentioned that things were reasonably cheap those days.
I can tell you, when we used to sell in a shop, my uncle had the grocery shop, clothing shop. So we used to sell to average indigenous or Zambian. A normal wage earner would take tiki salad, 6 penny kapenta, and a shilling millimil.
Yeah, millimil was going at a shilling.
Selling in a 2.5 pound packets.
Okay.
We were giving them.
Yes.
And there was nothing. Everybody was happy.
Everybody was happy, really. Things were reasonably cheap.
Reasonably cheap. And
how were the wages like? The
wages
salaries?
were salary. I used to get in those days 22 pounds.
22 pounds.
Yes.
It was a substantial amount of money
in those days. Yes. Well, because I was related to my uncle.
Yeah.
So that's about it. Averagely, the people would get between 10 to 15 pounds.
10 to 15 pounds.
Yes. There were 3 categories of salaries. The European was paid highest. Then came the Asians and colored, and then came Africa.
Africa was the last.
That was the situation of the pattern.
Exactly, yes. So for the African, approximately what was the average pay for an African, those working for the government as a clerical officer, for instance?
For example, in my company, my uncle used to pay £7, 7.5 pounds, like that.
£7.10.
Yes, £7.10, yes. And the people never dissatisfied, or as we have today, cost of living. There was no disgruntling. Everybody is happy.
Exactly. You have mentioned that you eventually went back to India.
Yes.
How long did you stay when you went back? And what did you go back to do?
In India, when I went, when I came here, as I said, we had a family setback in business. I usually come from a very big business family.
Oh, I see. Way back in India.
In India, yes. We used to manage for government the cooperatives which were not making profit. So our group is to take it, manage, and give it back to government by managing for them.
I see.
Our house was the banking house. So people used to bring money for deposits and again take it when they want to take it. So when we had a very big loss, that forced me to come here. So I came single all of a sudden.
Oh, I see.
From studying, if you see my credential, I was first class honors. So I came here and then went back again, because when I came at the time I was 23.
You were only 23?
Yeah, and when I went I was around 27 and a half.
Okay.
So I went and I got married to my good lady.
Yeah.
And then I came again single, because I wasn't sure that I want to stay in the farming district.
So you left your newly married wife back home?
Back home. And then she came in 1960, July, to join me.
To join you in 1960?
Yes.
Right, Mrs. Shah, coming to you, how did you meet your husband? How was the marriage conducted?
My uncle and your uncle is friend. That's why he's getting the marriage together.
Okay. It was your uncle and his uncle. They organized the marriage. Yes. Had you met him before, or you just heard about him?
No. A long time ago, father and mother, everything is said that children is do it like this.
Okay.
But like this.
Exactly.
You could say arranged marriage.
It was an arranged marriage.
Yes, you could say that way. Yes.
So how did you feel like after marrying him and you had to come to Africa? You had never been here. Did you feel free to come to a place where you had never gone before?
No, I am going. Sometimes I can go.
You said you were still fine to go to this place. How was your experience like the first time you came to this country?
First time is coming, that time is I am very hard time.
Yes.
I working to my husband together and do it to hard working.
Exactly.
And helping together, that is my hearing.
Exactly.
Okay. My family and my husband family.
Yes.
All is go to grow on, that is good.
Exactly.
That is my hardest feeling.
Exactly. How about communication with the local people? I'm sure the official language, of course, was English, but on the Copper Belt it was Chibemba.
I speak in Kabanga.
Oh, Lapa Lapa, yes. That was the main language of those days. Can you still remember Chilapa Lapa, Kabanga?
Yes, I speak
Okay.
this one.
So you were able to communicate with the local people
Yes.
in Chilapa Lapa?
Yes.
Okay. You were already able to speak English when you came from India to this country?
I speaking English, but very little. No?
Very little, but you learned
But
most
now
of it.
it's coming together in some people, so I can
Yes.
start to later.
Exactly. Right, Mr. Shah, you from Monze, you decided to come to the Copper Belt.
Yes.
What made you move from the farming area in Monze to the Copper Belt, which
Only
is a
the-
mining place?
Because as I said to you, in the farming district, the peak period of business is June, July only.
Yeah, exactly.
After 10 months, you know nothing. So cash circulation was not there. And I was coming from Bombay University. So the industrial growth is only in big cities. So I was thinking of going to cities.
Yes.
So there, in cricket, I met Mr.M.G. And he says, all right, come here. And when he was taking departmental store, so he purchased, and I came here as assistant manager because I was new to him.
Yes. So you were his assistant manager.
Yes.
What did your job involve when you
Job
were?
involved, I was managing the departmental store, the grocery, hardware, and liquor.
And liquor.
Yes, that was my buying and controlling staff.
Okay. In Chingola only.
In Chingola only. And then in 1961, he took the Mikkels in Luancia. And as I made success of this store, I went there to organize the Mikkels also in Luancia.
In Luansha,
Yes.
yes.
So I was there for 2 years. And then in 63, one of my friend died in a car accident. And he had a small tea room, bar and resort shop, which I took it over
This was in Chingola?
in Chingola.
Okay.
That's how I came to Chingola back from Luancia after 1.5 years.
Yeah.
And when I was managing departmental store, there was a tremendous price war. We had a Changa trading here, a Standard trading diamond in Kitwe, ZOK in Kitwe, Mikkels here. So we used to sell 8 to 10 items at cost and 6 to 7 items under cost by 3 farthing on imported cost. To give you the example, sugar we used to sell 2 kg for 2 and 6.
2 and 6.
And our cost was 263 farthing.
Oh.
Cornflakes we used to sell for 2 and 6. Our cost was 2, 6 and quarter penny.
Quarter penny.
Yes.
Yeah.
But whole idea was to draw the housewife in. So when she comes in, she does other shopping. So where you have markup, so we make profit.
The population was reasonably small those
At
days.
that time, when I came in 58, the population was around 60, 65,000.
Here in Chingola.
Chingola. And in
Yeah.
Chingola, being an Asian, to get the house in the low density area was a problem.
It was a problem.
Yes. We can only get the house in colored quarters
In Kalas.
in Chiampala.
Yeah, in Chiampala,
Yes.
yes. Okay.
So many of us stayed in Chiampala. I also stayed in Chiampala on Milner Road, house number 9. We stayed there.
Okay. Who are some of the early residents of Chingola that you met during your time when you just settled in Chingola?
When I came here in 59, I was a bit leftist, so I met Andrew Sadanis. He's just 5th house from here. Then the Milner, late Joseph Shaw. He was very capable.
Yeah, you have mentioned that you never had any problems in your business until 1968. What happened?
In 1968, when the economic reforms came, I was a Zambian at the time also, in 68, because I applied in 66,
Yes.
before October, as the deadline given by the Constitution. But the problem is now we have to think in which area we should move with the political thinking. So we thought of moving into the wholesale.
Okay.
So from there we moved to wholesale into Kitwe, in Andola. That's how we opened the wholesale. Still, I have in Andola the wholesale house.
In dollar?
Yes, a very big wholesale house I have there,
Okay.
which is entirely managed by Zambians.
Okay.
And then in 71, we went for the garment factory.